So that should be working. Turn off the preview there. Awesome. Hey there, hi there, everybody. I am just wrapping up a Catalyst quest right now, and then we are going to be diving straight away into week 4 of the Epic Mole Man quest. I'm going to be doing that 100%, and that is going to complete all 4 difficulties of Mole Man 100%. Now, I've been putting that off for the entire month because, you know, I just had other things to do. But with it expiring tomorrow, I figured now is as good a time as any to crank it out real quick. Get all the extra loot, and then go from there. Of course. Also, for a side note, that's the 7th time I've run the whatchamacallit, medium difficulty for the skill quest, and I have gotten no full skill catalyst, so that's fun. Type something away here in the chat box. Got that going, awesome. And yeah, away we go. So where are we at here? Now, I did 100% of week 3, was it a day or day and a half ago, and wound up cranking that whole thing out in a little bit under an hour, which overall at the end of the day isn't too bad. So my goal for today is to do about the same. I'm going in with double edge turned on, so half suicides to help speed things up a little bit. As soon as I'm done with it, I'm going to be turning it off again just because of AQ, which is on currently. And then just go from there. So my team that I'm running with is the same team I've been doing for the other week's difficulty. My rank 3 Ghost, my rank 2 Wasp, and rank 5 Sunspot. I think it's my 5-star that I brought in. And overall, that's been a pretty good team so far. Ghost takes care of most of the work, Wasp is cleanup, and then Sunspot takes care of the Mole Man bosses. I take that back. That is a rank 2 Wasp who is going to be putting in no work today. My regular Wasp is in AQ, so basically it's just going to be Ghost Show tonight. You know, as soon as I'm done with this fight, I should actually just take a look at the map to see what the freebies are on the various different paths. I remember in the Master difficulty for this, there was a full Tier 4 Basic on one of the paths, there was a Legendary Crystal on one of the paths, as well as some Tier 4 Class full crystal for that, which is pretty nice. Again, I got to give Kabam major kudos for this month's quest. So okay, so there's 2 Tier 4 Class, full Tier 4 Basic. I give them kudos for this event. I appreciate immensely that it's optional. I very much enjoy that it has no energy requirements. And I also really like that the best rewards aren't tied behind a 100% completion. So if you want to just pop in, Mole Man number 1. So if you want to just pop in, get some of the best loot on some of the paths, and then just forget about the rest of it, you can. Keep it simple. But, because I'm a glutton for punishment apparently, I decided not only to do 100% of everything, I'm doing 100% of all 4 difficulties. But hey, it's free stuff, so there you go. Now I was looking today because today was the Kabam put out an edited post for the rewards for test audio. Okay, cool. Yep. I am still completely a scrub at this whole YouTube live streaming thing, so apologize for that. I'll get a hang of it eventually. Anyway, they were saying they put out today an updated list for rewards for next month's quest. You know, if you either choose to be part of Storm X's team or Blue Supreme, which is a little disappointing because they took away one of the rank 1 to rank 2 5-star crystals that you get. So if you double down, then that's 2 that they've taken away. They've introduced some lower rank up stones for 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars. But you know, at the end of the day, they bring Ghost into this. At the end of the day, it's still, you know, free rank up materials, and I'll definitely take it. They added some extra stuff, moved around some of the Sig stones. Some other things here and there, took away some of the tier 4 basic shards. Free stuff. Nice. Okay, cool. I would have obviously preferred that they didn't. But, you know, looking over it, it makes a lot of sense because it benefits a wider variety of people. You know, it isn't just tailor-suited to people who get 5 stars. You know, it's for everybody. So no matter where you're at in the game, there's something that can benefit you immediately. You know, and even for me now, there's still a bunch of 2 stars and 3 stars and 4 stars, as well as 5s, that I haven't even begun to touch yet, just because of the absolute lack of availability of resources. So I'll still take it. So moving along to path number 2, I am just starting in on path 2. I'm already 2 mole men deep. What is it? It looked like 16 paths total, I think, for week 4 difficulty, which means that obviously there's a minimum of 16 mole men. My guess at the end of this, I'm going to keep track just for fun, is that there's going to be like a wind-up grand total of probably, I'm going to say 24 mole men that I have to fight. And, you know, I'm going to be so glad when I don't have to fight any more freaking mole men. Because, you know, if they introduced a wee bit better logic into the game for AI so that the bots can play the characters optimally or even semi-optimally as opposed to a uniform playstyle for everybody, I think it'd be a lot more fun, or at least a little bit more interesting. Because as it stands right now, and this is true for just about everybody in the game, is that because most everybody fights the same way, or is programmed to fight the same way, the fights can get really stale. Especially if you're grinding like this after a while, which is my own fault. I would highly recommend for any of you guys listening, for future events, just like with the regular monthly event quest, it's a lot more fun spacing it out instead of just jamming it all in the last literally the last hours of the event. But you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Alrighty, Stumpy, come on. I'm playing this actually way more cautiously than I need to. Suppose that's my subconscious AQ, AW mentality coming into play. But it's looking pretty good. Path 2 is just about ready to be in the books. Moving right along, not too bad. But anyway, like I was saying, about next month's event quest, I think it looks pretty good. Me personally, if you couldn't tell, I'm going to be going with the rank up material as opposed to the crystal shards. Although Seaton put out a really good video, so I encourage you to watch that as well if you haven't seen that already. Kind of like where he breaks down which loyalty benefits who and at what point in their roster. So if you're still diversifying your roster and looking for those killer app champs, then the crystal path is definitely your best bet. Gives you a better option for a lot greater diversity of champs and a lot more chances to get said good champs. So if you're in that boat, that's awesome. I definitely recommend doing that. Or if you're already sitting on a huge pool of champs, however good or average or mediocre or god tier that they may be, and just haven't been able to do anything with them, then the Catalyst quest is definitely right up your alley. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'd be curious to see what the daily objectives are and how that ties in with the overall theme. Because it seems really similar to the Civil War event that they did a few years ago. You can either be Team Cap or Team Iron Man. And then it's just use characters from said team, defeat characters from the opposing team to get points, and then collectively everybody who picks that team, all of their scores wind up getting lumped in together, so you kind of wind up playing as a community, one team against another, which was a lot of fun. So it'll be fun to see if there's like some sort of mechanic tied into that, where it's a community-wide thing as opposed to a personal thing, or best case scenario, both. So there's a lot of stuff that you can get yourself for your own personal solo objectives, but then there's also something fun to, for everybody to chip in and participate in together. So, and maybe there is, maybe I just didn't look at it closely enough. Knowing me, it's always a good idea to account for user error. So. Now, if you wanted to play Ghost optimally, I realize that I am not playing her optimally. Optimally would be to hit once, get the crit, dash back, wait for her to attack, attack again, get another crit, so on and so forth. So you just stack crits back to back to back with a minimal amount of hits, which is a good strategy. But truth be told, that requires a wee bit more attention than I am paying to this. So I'm just going to keep punching them till they don't get back up again. That's worked out pretty good so far, so, just going to keep rolling with that. Now, I am still hoping to get a Mole Man myself out of the featured crystals. Fortunately, there's still 80 odd some days left on the new crystal, and you know, hope springs eternal that my luck turns around and I wind up pulling one. Because I think at the end of the day, he still is going to be fun to play, even though for me, he's going to wind up being a bench warmer. And I say that not because he's a bad champ. He's not great. And the skill class has so many good champs now. That's really tough for somebody new to kind of just emerge and climb up to the top of the pack from the get-go. But that having been said, he isn't bad either. But it's just for me that, you know, oh boy. I'm focused more... Stupid abilities. I'm focused more on the couple of skill champs I already have as 5 stars, and most recently as the 6 stars. So that'd be the Thor Fraggle Rock that I have taken up to rank 3, which I should probably do a video on at some point, because at first I was kind of reluctantly going along with it just because my account needed that huge prestige boost that he brings, being the 2nd highest prestige champ in the game now. But when I was doing my 6-3 run to 100% it, I brought him with just because he synergizes well with, especially for the Mysterio chapter, he synergizes well with Cat Beardo, who I was using for the Mysterio boss to shrug off the poison debuffs and all the debuffs that Mysterio throws for that lovely BS fight. But he also has that synergy with Heimdall, and when I'm questing, I most always have a Heimdall on my team, just to keep things a little bit simpler and you know, to have that safety net. It's kind of surprising when you're, you know, just playing for kicks, how handy having that Heimdall on your team is. He definitely proves his worth as one of the most useful champs in the game, despite having a mediocre kit. But anyway, my point being is that before I got to the Mysterio boss, I wound up playing a good bit of Fraggle Rock in 6-3 content without suicides or boosts or any of that. Just, you know, the first couple fights I was just throwing a warm body at an enemy after he KO'd my main, but it wound up being that Fraggle Rock is surprisingly good. I know there's a bunch of people that have said that in the past, you know, and especially those players who have already ranked him up for prestige or because, you know, they actually like him, or the synergies. But for me, because that was really the first time I ever like brought him with to fight in the wild outside of an arena setting, I was really surprised how well he did. Especially for a tanky enemy, you know, with somebody who lives longer than you know, 2 5-hit combos and a special, much like the guys in these quests. But, you know, somebody who can actually take a hit for one, so Thor can build up to his 40 hits, get the ridiculous power gain, and then start cycling special 3s. Because once he gets to that point and he can start cycling those special 3s and then bringing up the shock damage, provided of course the person you're fighting is not immune to shock, or debuffs for that matter. But once he gets those shock buffs up, and if you play it smart to stagger the power gains, so you don't push yourself over that 40 hits while you still have, you know, a huge chunk of power on you already. Once you get that cycle going, I gotta pay attention here. I'm not gonna get my butt kicked by a rhino. But once you get that cycle going, he's really fun. He's really good, and that shock damage adds up. It melts. So I was very pleasantly surprised at that. And I'm very thankful too. Because like I said, I was really worried that he was just going to wind up being a prestige champ. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but since he was my first rank 3, it's nice to know that he actually has a bit of utility too. So food for thought. If you're on the fence, or if you're in a similar situation where you need that prestige boost, but you're looking at Fraggle Rock and you're kind of apprehensive, just know that, especially as you keep ranking him up and pouring SIGs into him, for the prestige, that it's actually, you can actually do a bit more with him. So there we go, another Mole Man. So that's what, Mole Man number 6? Because this is my 5th path. Yeah, so there's 4 boss Mole Men, and I think I've only had 1 ambush before this. So this is ambush number 2. So Mole Man number 6. 6 of 24. Love it. Would have been nice if they had gotten Giganto's portrait or something into the profile pic for Mole Man. Because, outside of a waving stick on the dude's back and, slapping Giganto when he's stunned, Mole Man doesn't really do a whole heck of a lot. It's really Giganto's fight. But, that's semantics. I guess according to the game logic, Giganto is no different than MODOK's chair or Mojo's legs or Howard's duckmobile. But wishful thinking. So I was looking it up, and I think for the grand total between week 4 here and added cumulatively for weeks 1, 2, and 3, you should get enough 5-star shards for a full 5-star crystal. And I think there's 2,000, 1,000, 2,000, something like that, 6-star shards total between the 4 events, which isn't bad, especially for a bonus event. So between this, the regular monthly quest, and then if you do arena or any of that too, and just duping champs out of regular crystals, you should be able to pull easily half, anywhere between half and 2/3 of a 6-star crystal out of 1 month's events. So that's pretty nice. I think it's a start. Or at least a start for Kabam coming to terms and making their peace with the fact that 6 stars are the current meta. I don't buy for 1 second the spiel that they're putting out in Dave's video when he went up to Kabam HQ to talk to him, that 5 stars are still reigning supreme in the game. And they're great champs to have, 5 stars. They still are super useful. Super useful. But I disagree with the logic that the game is tailored around them. Especially when you have quests like this that, all your enemies are 6 stars. The grand prize out of crystals are 6 stars. Yada yada yada. That having been said, I do understand the difficulty that they're in that if they accept that 6 stars are the current meta and they start flooding the marketplace with 6-star stuff, that that's really going to water down the, in their words, watering down the economy. Yeah, but you know what? I don't really know why that would be a bad thing. You know, because like the whales would still whale out to get SIGs for prestige, like they do currently, which is totally fine. But you know, regular players, you know, who it takes like a good few months per 6-star, or a few months to get enough shards for even a single 6-star, you know, to be able to have more chances at that, especially since, you know, even though the 6-star pool isn't as big as the 5-star pool, there's still probably around 100 different champs in there. And I'm not gonna dive into, you know, pulling a trash champ or pulling a god tier champ or any of that, but especially since rank up materials are so specific for, you know, by class. I'm just going to go for it, I don't care. I'm gonna die, but I don't care. Or so specific for class, especially for, you know, rank 2 and rank 3 especially, that it's still so hard to get specific materials for, you know, a specific rank up and specific champ. Come on. Well, that's gonna do me. It's gonna roid up his dude. That the fact that there's like 100 odd some champs to pull in the first place, that you would pull somebody who you have the resources to rank up, let alone pulling that person twice to dupe them, and they have to be, you know, good enough or tailor suited enough to what you need in the game. I'm just saying it's a huge pool with a huge margin of error that the stars really would have to align. So, you know, giving people more chances to get useful things, let alone good things or god tier things, I think I don't think would be a bad thing. Especially if you know, put it around something that makes people feel like they've put in the work and they've earned it, you know. Like they just updated arena rewards not too terribly long ago. It was a while ago, but not. This is not looking good. Do that. You gabbing and not paying attention. You know, they updated the arena awards not too terribly long ago, which was nice because they were stale. That having been said, the cav crystals have really, I mean, they've been around a while now, you know, and more people are getting 6 stars, and more people are having more opportunities, even though, like it just was arguing, I think it would benefit everybody to have greater opportunity. But you know, even the top rewards for the 5-star bracket, the 1 to 10%, right, is still 2,000 5-star shards and what is it, a couple 106. So for all those hours that you have to put into the game to be able to grind out the currently 15-16 million needed to get into the top 1 to 10% bracket to get a fifth of a 5-star, you know, and like what, 2% of a 6-star crystal? My math isn't right there. But a nominal percent of a 6-star. It's kind of ridiculous, because then, you know, even cumulatively, having 2 featured arenas a week means that, you know, you get a 5-star crystal for a 5-star champ every 2.5 weeks, best case scenario. You know, and with 160 odd some champs to pull from, it's a little lackluster. So, word to the wise, if you're considering doing an arena grind, and you're just grinding for resources, a good mentality going into it is that you're grinding for the gold and you're grinding for the battle chips. Just as much, if not more so, than you're grinding for the rank rewards at the end. Because, you know, once you get to be a grumpy old fellow like me, I've been playing this game for 4.5, 5 years. Now that kind of nonsense. It's definitely good to maintain a positive disposition, I would say. So, glass half full. So that was what, the 4th random encounter, and this is path 7? I guess it's path 7. I've lost track. No, Sunspot doesn't, it's what am I trying to say? Sunspot doesn't automatically parry projectiles like Proxima. Or I mean, he might, because I know he gets the perfect block when the opponent has incinerate, but I don't know if that perfect block includes projectile attacks. Because if that's the case, I mean, I'm pretty sure he doesn't, just because of that last Massacre fight. I wasn't able to parry his projectile medium attack right there. I'm trying to remember, there's a mutant who can, one of the newer ones. I'm just completely blanking on who that is at the moment. It'll come to me. But in the meantime, putting that next mole man to bed. Nap time for that fella. And cool, about halfway there. So this is path 8. We're just a little bit over the half-hour mark, so this is probably going to go maybe like an hour 10 total. Stupid unblockable. You know, I think I'm definitely just at the point where it's easier to just play kind of carelessly because they do so little damage. As opposed to playing smart, because there's a much different strategy that you need to play for Rhino. Especially if you want to minimize the chance of getting hit. But, you know, like I said, this isn't something that's super pressing or super important. And doesn't have permanent stakes like War or AQ does, so. If I get clipped, I get clipped. If I get hit, I get hit. I'm not going to be burning any pots or anything over this, so. And another one's down. Cheers, everybody. Refreshing Kool-Aid. Son of a mother. Ambush number 5. So that's, after this path is done, that's 13 of these guys. Now, I was saying in my last stream for the week 3 map, one of the reasons that I'm disappointed that I didn't jump on this sooner, and I'm kind of hoping that there's something next month that's similar, is that because these guys are as built as they are and it's 6 stars, and I'm assuming that all these guys are SIG 200. Let's check that. 675. Okay, so I've scratched that last bit. These guys are, they're just lazy. But anyway, because they're still as built and as tanky as they are, it'd be fun to bring in a 4-star champ who I have little experience with against some of these guys, just to familiarize myself with new mechanics and new ways of playing and new synergies, and brushing up on some old champs that I haven't really taken the time to give a proper demo to yet. Especially since the whole quest costs no energy. It isn't really costing me anything to go in and back out and go back in again. But, you know, live and learn. I want to try something. Oh, he's out of incinerates. See if it's faster to just go in and straight away with a special 2. As opposed to doing a special 1, build up the prowess, and then go back in with a special 2 on top of it. Neat. Halfway in, 13 mole men down. Moving right along. I'm pretty sure I opened up the legendary from master level difficulty. I'm pretty sure I pulled a 4-star. But that was nice because that was a path prize as opposed to 100% completion prize. So if you wanted to go and try and gamble on a 5-star for little to no effort, I definitely recommend that path in week 4 of Master Mode. But I didn't see one in Epic right here. Maybe they were just content throwing the tidbits of Tier 2A, Tier 5B, and the couple Tier 4 class crystals. Call it good enough. Speaking of which, I had also mentioned previously that I was on the fence if I wanted to rank up my sunspot, my 6-star sunspot. This week, with the level up event that just ended, or if I wanted to save him for later, rank up some of my 2s and 3s and 4s and whatnot. So spoiler alert, there's no sunspot video, and that is strictly because I went with the 2 stars and 3 stars. But I am very much looking forward to when I do rank up that sunspot, because he's a fun champ, for one, and because I kind of really want to, just because of how stupidly lucky and improbable it was that I got him in the first place.
Why was I bleeding? Oh. So dumb. Of course that's why. Yeah, old man Robbie here ain't paying any attention. I'm gonna get wrecked by this stupid Korg. Yep. Bye. Oh, that's unpleasant. Alright, let's take our stupid chip rock damage, whatever. Come here, buddy boy. Come on. Stupid. Your stupid rock stocks down. You know, it's always fun being reminded just how stupidly annoying Korg is. Well, that should do it. Just get to enjoy the rest of this path without a sunspot. Which is really funny because I was right in the middle of saying how amazing Sunspot is. And he is. It's not the character's kit's fault that I just suck at playing him. But yeah, he's a fantastic champ, and I kind of have to because, like I was saying, it was just the ridiculous, improbable, stupid luck that let me get him in the first place. But truth be told, I am really still waiting for the Hulkbuster beta server to open up. I wanted to save the Tier 5 Basic as well as all the smaller resources for that. Not because I'm super excited about ranking up my 5-star Hulkbuster and testing out his kit, which I am very excited about, don't get me wrong. Very excited to see what they do with him. But I also kind of just want to play around on the new server. Hope that it still is similar to how it's been in the past. I've seen other YouTubers play around with. Where it gives you a carefree opportunity to rank up some of the champs that you otherwise wouldn't have without permanently wasting your resources. And truth be told, that's I really don't know why they haven't done that yet for more mainstream purposes. Where like once a month, just say over a week-long period, right? So every 4 weeks you get a week to sign up for a test server, right? So everybody can log into the test server. You can rank up whoever you want. You can test out whoever you want. You can blow your resources however you want. You can go buck wild. And then still be able to log out of that server and go back to your real account. But then just know what your champs are going to be like if you decide to pour in all the resources to rank them up, you know? So if you're on the fence about a champ, you don't know how to play them, you don't know how they're going to be at a higher level, you know, to get that week to just play around with that champ, so then you know. So if you have a really good time, you go back into your real account, you rank them up for realsies. Or if you rank up somebody and you realize after the fact that it's, hey, they're not as much fun as you were thinking, hey, they don't do as much damage as I'd like, whatever the reason, you can be like, okay, cool, take backsies. And, you know, get your resources back, but then you still know, you know. But, you know, we're still kind of fighting for a stable server in the first place, so. Wishful thinking. So we are moving right along. I have I'm gonna level with you guys. I've completely forgotten how many mold men I've fought at this point. I think it was 13 going into the second half of the epic quest. This is the third path? Fourth path already. Okay. So that's 17 mole men, and I think I've been ambushed twice, so 19 mole men. Man, that means that we're almost done. I tell you, I get gabbing and then time flies. Which is good. I will take that. I mean, really though, wouldn't it just make sense to have a test server to open it up to everybody? Or at the very least, segment everybody into, quarters. Like everybody's assigned a number, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the game cycles through those 4 different categories of everybody and saying, okay, group 1, this is your week for the test server. Group 2, this is your week for the test server. So on and so forth, right? So as to not completely overload their system. But everybody still gets a chance to, try stuff out. Hey, I've been saving up units. I've got, a few hundred, a few thousand, whatever it is. And I was saving it for, quest content or masteries or whatever. But today I'm just going to splurge on crystals, pull a bunch of randos, see if I get anything good, so I still get the enjoyment and satisfaction of playing the crystal lottery. If I get somebody cool, I get to play around with them. Awesome. And then, just with the understanding that as soon as I log out and the server closes, then, they're just gone forever. But I didn't waste any real-world money or real-world resources or units or anything like that. It's just a, fun little side thing. Okay, why am I going back this way? Now I'm just distracting myself. Wait, no, there was still... Oh, I see. I see what they did there. Okay, so I'm not nearly as far ahead as I thought. I still got 2 paths. I was giving myself 2 paths extra credit right there. But I get it. I see what I did. I was going to say, wow, I'm making really good time. Still making pretty decent time. It's only 46 minutes in right now. So I'll still take that. Why didn't go invisible right there? Awesome, awesome. You get that fully formed tier 4 basic. Thank you muchly. That will come in handy. Mole man. So this is what? Mole man number 18? I am sick and tired of these motherly mole men on this Monday to Friday plane. Which again is the actual dub, cable channel dub for that movie. Just beautiful. Beautiful. Here we go, guys. One of the most fun champs you can fight, Mr. Annoyalus himself. Who do I want to sacrifice to? He's Incinerate immune, but whatever. If nothing else, take off a chunk of health with Sunspot and then go back in with Wasp and finish him off. Ghost is actually a really good counter for Annihilus if you are a god tier Ghost player. Why are you so unstoppable? He's standing here. I hate his everything. I hate his everything. Go away. This should do it. Yeah. Annihilus. Pain in my tuchus. I'm really fortunate that they're really thankful that they've come out with a whole new wave of Mystic champs of late. Starting with Claire and then Doom and then Mojo and Longshot. And then hopefully Blue Supreme here as well. Because it just gives you a bunch of new modern options for dealing with some of the annoying BS champs they've introduced the last year. I mean, you could always try your luck with Diablo or Ebony Maw, you know, just because they're such well-designed, well-rounded champions. You gonna do it? Yeah. But that having been said, you know, there's that little hiccup of annoying champs right there in the middle of the Mystic release timeline, but going back to some of the older Mystics, your Mordos, your Hoods, your blanking, Mephistos, and especially Morningstar. Those guys are all really still good and useful. Just, you know, selectively useful, but still really useful. So like if you needed to bring them with, you know, as like a synergy teammate, or if there's a node just, you know, tailored specifically for their kit, they're still really good champs to have and fun to play and useful. And I will say this, it's nice to have champs like that, where you look over their description and you can read it in like a minute and a half, and there's, you know, various different usages for their kits and different abilities and whatnot, but it isn't like some of the modern champs where, you know, you've got a small book of abilities and caveats and tangents and if-then equations, you know. Like, cool, you can do a lot of cool stuff, but I'm never going to use any of it because ain't nobody got time for that. But here we go. Almost there. Almost 75% done at the 51-minute marker. I'm going to give myself a couple minutes there just because I didn't dive in right away. Getting shafted on 7th playthrough of normal skill class catalyst map extraordinary thingamajigger. But that's just how it is with those quests, you know. Some days are super hot, some days are super not. Today I'm super not. Last week when I was grinding a different class, I wound up getting 3 of them back to back to back. You know, and that was on top of the one you get automatically just for 100% completion, which I'm still very thankful for. But you know, if you got the energy to burn, like if you're done with the monthly quest and you know, you don't really have anywhere else to burn that energy on. It's kind of nice to still have that, even though that there's faster and more cost-effective options elsewhere. Like just waiting your turn for the unit store one to come around. I'm not tired, you're tired. But here we go. Starting in on the last 4 paths of Epic here. Which means we get to dance the dance with Mr. Fantastic here 4 times. Which, you know, hopefully someday I can rank up my Elsa Bloodstone. I got one at rank, the 5-star rank 4. And she's the one I've done the videos with up until this point. I managed to just open up a 4-star Elsa today, which it's not going to be part of any video, it was just something for fun for me. But I didn't have her as a 4-star. So right now she's sitting rank 1, level 1. And I'm kind of halfway tempted to just take her into Act 4 and Act 5 especially. Just to kind of see what a bare bones Elsa can actually do. Alright, so that's small man 20? 20? I'm gonna stick with 20. Definitely gonna be my nap time after this. Yeah, sorry, I'm sure I'm super entertaining, yawning and grumbling and complaining, but you know, I can't help it. But anyway, taking in that bare bones 4-star Elsa into some of the higher content, or even something like this, you know, it'd be fun to see what she does against like a champ like this MODOK, you know. Or especially that Mr. Fantastic, which is what, you know, I thought about in the first place. With her being able to shrug off all those debuffs, and her doing able to get the cold snap off for when those debuffs overwhelm her ability to shrug them off. That way you can still dance the dance with Mr. Fantastic without succumbing to his dodgy nonsense. Awesome. But yeah, she's awesome. She's so freaking awesome. Like, I'm really looking forward to being at a point in the game where I either can just be chill with my current prestige, or get to a point where I just don't care anymore. And I can start investing in some other fun champs like that again. But it's just, you know. But until then, it's nice to know that I've got cool champs like Elsa on the bench to play with later on. Because she's so freaking good. She's so stupid good. Once I get tired of the Abyss avatar up there, then Elsa's going back up. I had Darkhawk up there for the longest time, just because before Elsa came out, Darkhawk far and away is one of my favorite champs to play, just for his all-around utility. But yeah, then I had him as my avatar for the longest time, even though obviously he isn't, his prestige is decent, but it can be pretty easily eclipsed by some other fantastic high prestige champs, like Phoenix in my case for a while. You know, I mean, I was talking about Thor Ragnarok earlier in the stream, and me being pleasantly surprised at his kit actually having it in hand and taking it out into the wild and playing the long game with them. You know how I was pleasantly surprised that he's a lot better than all the hate that he gets. Phoenix is the same way for me too. She definitely has her utility. She's got a couple killer synergies now, which make her a lot more versatile and really ramp her damage up a little bit, which is great. But even by herself, her base kit, once you, similarly to Fraggle Rock, once you get her in a decent rotation, she's a fantastic questing champ. Because right when things are looking the most bleak, like you're about to get knocked out, you can just stack up some of your Phoenix charges, intentionally take the killing blow, and if you played smart up until that point, building up 3 or 4 Phoenix charges, that killing blow is going to wind up turning back into nearly 100% full health again. So it's like a better Nick Fury. Or I suppose just based on when they came out, that Nick Fury is a worse version of Phoenix. But my goodness, I cannot wait till I get a 6-star Nick Fury. I'll be curious to see if I still have the skill awakening gem by the time I ever wind up getting one. Because I still have one. I had 2. No, I only ever had 1. I take it back. Because I wound up duping my Fraggle Rock naturally. But I still have one skill left. It's looking like I'm probably going to wind up using that on my Stealth Spider-Man. Also for prestige purposes. But, you know, I'd really like to be able to hang on to it for the eventual Nick Fury 2, however many years it's going to take for me to get one of him. You know, because 99% of Nick Fury's kit and utility is based around having one, you know, an awakened Nick Fury, or a Sig level 1 Nick Fury. And it's one of the more, you know, useful awakenings you can do in the game. But since I already burned my generic on Ghost, she's there and she's available. I'm gonna get wrecked right now, aren't I? Okay. Launch that real quick, see how much damage that does. But since I used my generic on Ghost, you know, I only have that skill for Fury, but you know, got Stealth Spider-Man, which is awesome. It's a super lucky pull, I realize, and also Bloodstone, which is another super fortunate lucky pull. It's an extremely first world problem to have. I'm not complaining. I cannot complain. Very, very fortunate. But part of me is really tempted to use that for Elsa. And that would be just like I was talking about. That would be stupid. Fat fingers. That would be something that would just be for me. Like Elsa's got decent prestige. She's got better prestige than Fury. And you could even make the argument that she's a better champ. But I think really end it. Thank you. So we can get Ghost in there. But that's one of the things, I think that's the biggest thing I'm tempted to do once that beta server goes up. Is just wake up Elsa, take her to rank 2, hopefully have enough materials left for a rank 3, and just play the bejesus out of her. That way, you know, if I never get another chance to do it again, to take her up that high, at least I had the chance to test her out a little bit, you know? Okay, here we go. Last 2 paths. Coming in about almost an hour 10. Not too bad. A little above my goal of 1 hour, but you know, with them stacking difficulty, or at least NVPI, from week 3 to 4, that makes sense. But overall, not bad. Still making pretty decent time. I don't... I'm going to take a look through my crystal roster once this is all said and done to see if there's anything that we can open up. But like I said, I think I already popped the legendary from Master. Which I could have saved. Should have saved. Didn't save. Let's see if there's anything else. I'm not going to be opening up Future Crystal, even though I have some. Speaking of which, did you see that at the time of the recording here, the daily offer, or daily news, whatever you want to call it, was that they're going to be reintroducing featured hero cav crystals on Tuesdays as well as Sundays. You know, which if you're a whale, that's cool. It gives you more chances to get the 6-star champ you want. Or if you're a regular person like us, you know, or I mean, I shouldn't say that. I'm not a whale, but I'm not completely. I have a little bit more fudge room. You know, where you get to open up the odd featured Grandmaster crystal just for kicks. You know, see if you if today's the lucky day, you know. But anyway, when I saw the email pop up that said that, hey, the featured hero crystals are coming back in the middle of the week, for a split second before I read the rest of the headline, I was like, are they bringing back the featured 5-star crystals? For a split second, I thought they were. And how cool would that be? You know? Because I like I said earlier in the stream, you know, 6 stars are the new meta. But even though Kabam doesn't see it that way. But it would have been really nice, I think. And it would have been typical Kabam that like a week after they release the new featured crystal with the highest prestige champ and have everybody just blow their entire stash of 5-star shards, that's when they would reintroduce the featured 5-star hero. But alas, no, it's just the Grandmaster crystal. But could you imagine that in today's day and age, to have the like a single featured hero 5-star crystal pop back up again? I'd tell you, I would flip for that in a heartbeat. For those of you who are newer to the game, or for those who don't remember, way back when, before 6 stars got introduced, I'm pretty sure, right as 6 stars were being introduced, they used to have a featured 5-star hero crystal similar to the one that they have now, but instead of 6 champs featured in that, it was just 1. You would still have the same drop rates, where it was about a 20% chance to get the featured 5-star champ per crystal, but it was focused on one singular champ instead of 6. So the odds of you getting who you want were super high. I mean, I say super high, even though it was a 20% chance, and by, you know, kabam logic, that 20% chance is more like a 5 or 10% chance. But the fact being is that you could really just save your shards, like see somebody coming up in an arena, start to plan for the future, save all your shards for when they get re-released as a featured 5-star a few months down the road, and then just go ham for the next 2 weeks when they were available before it cycles through to the, you know, the next featured champ. But you would have a much, I'm gonna get destroyed right now, aren't I? Higher chance to get the 5-star champ that you want, you know, without playing yet another round of lottery. Which I really miss. I really miss. 5-star, like, the logic that they threw at us at the time was, hey, we're making 5-star shards more available so you have more to play with, you know, for the featured crystal. You know, more chances to play, more chances to win sort of thing. But, you know, it's still really nice to save up for months and months and months and months. You know, squirrel everything away to be able to open up 5 or 6 features. And by that statistical odds, you should have a pretty decent shot of pulling at least one featured champ, like Beardo or Void or Sparky or Blade. But yeah, long story short, they caught wind of how many people were doing that, saving up shards and then just going to town for a featured champ, and they put the kibosh on that. So sad day. Anyway, that was a really long-winded way around of saying that featured Grandmaster crystals are going back on Tuesdays in addition to Sundays, so neat. But here we go. This is the last Mole Man ambush, which is cool. I completely lost track. I should have kept a written tally someplace, but my original estimate was that there's going to be about 24 Molemen fights between final bosses and ambushes, and a couple paths ago I think we were just on 20, so I'm going to say that my estimate was pretty well spot on. I think I may have been short one fight maybe, but yeah, 24 Molemen in the last hour and 15 minutes. Not bad. But this is it. The last one. I'm gonna miss you, Mole Man, and your cool freebie quest. I'm eulogizing you here. Even though I waited to the last minute for most of all your quests just to absolute go on a Mole Man rampage the last couple of days. You will be well missed. You and all the freebie stuff we get for doing your quest. But whammo, bammo, slammo. Oh no, please don't freeze on me. No! Oh, thank goodness. And 100%. Awesome. That's actually a pretty good haul for 5-star shards. Or 6, sorry. Yeah, I got 11,000 now. So I think between today and the as of the point of this recording currently, the beta server is about 6 days away. So if I pop on there and open up all my 5 stars, I should be able to open up a featured 6-star in the beta server too, just for kicks. So that's fun. That's actually pretty fun. I'm excited about that. We got anything here? Anything interesting? Pop these real quick, I guess. And we are getting awesome basic. Basic at tier 4, I think, is one of the best things you can pull out of these in terms of quantity. Nice. Was that it? Yeah, save those for later. Yeah, spin out one of these. What the heck? We're like, it's a 90% chance for gold anyway. Cool. Well, there we have it, guys. That is going to do it for me tonight. Thanks for watching. This has been the 100% grind run of week 4 of the Epic Mole Man quest. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It's a new channel, so every bit helps me out immensely, and I appreciate it. Be sure to stay on the lookout too for more videos. I've got stuff coming out all the time. And yeah, till next time, take care. What's my usual ditty? Brain fart. I'm going to bed. Take care. Talk soon. Be well. And stay safe, everybody. Have a good night.